If you look at this here, this is indicating a low frequency. Typically, if you talk about the cellular bands, this would be around 900, 800, 700 megahertz. You can see that the frequencies will increase on this side. Now, if you look at the sort of scenarios, we typically find that people use these low frequencies in the rural type of environments. The reasons for that is quite interesting in the sense that these frequencies penetrate bushes, vegetation, and they also give you longer distances. So if you look at the coverage, typically the coverage is sparse in the sort of rural areas, but because you're using the low frequencies, you can get better distances. So cell density is low, and of course, fortunately, you also don't have too much people accessing. So capacity is not a big issue because the bandwidth here is also fairly low. So as you go up in the spectrum, if you get to the city type of environments, people would typically be using 1700 up to most probably 3 gigahertz in terms of the type of frequencies using in the LTE type of systems. The problems with these frequencies are that certainly the cell densities get very high. They have to, because for these frequencies to get into buildings is very difficult. So you need to have something that's almost line of sight of you in order to get in. Indoor coverage becomes pretty disastrous. They don't penetrate things well. And we'll show you a lot about that a little bit later. The other aspect is that capacity there becomes an issue. So most of the problems that you find is because this cell base station don't have the capacity to handle all of the data that's required. And that's one of the areas where external antennas help a lot, because you give the cellular operator a much better spectral usage. So you can steal quite a lot of his capacity. He's going to prefer serving you to other users that's accessing the network at a very slow data rate because of a low signal to noise ratio that they will have if they don't have proper antennas installed.